Welcome to episode 9, where we spend 4 weeks and about 5,000 kilometres travelling through Turkey. We start the trip off heading from the Greek border down to Anzac Cove. The Gallipoli campaign, which started in April 1915, was finally abandoned by the defeated Allies in January 1916. During those months, the Australians and New Zealanders lost over 10,000 men, as did the French, and the British lost more than twice that number. The area of Anzac Cove is now a memorial to the courage and desperation of those fighting men who lost their lives during this bloody military campaign. Although the campaign had very little impact on the course of the First World War, the Turkish victory at Gallipoli became the foundation for Turkey's movement towards independence.
From Anzac Cove, we motored towards Istanbul, alongside the Dardanelles and Sea of Marmara, stopping overnight at Bursa. We approached Istanbul by crossing one of the many spectacular bridges found in Turkiye. Like a whirling dervish, we were swept away by the colour and chaos of the Grand Bazaar. And simply intoxicated by the mosaics inside the Blue Mosque. We capped off our time in Istanbul by touring on bus for us across the Bosphorus. Howdy everyone. We've just had the most beautiful meal at a place called Monica's. And we're on
The beach at Pendik.
beach at where?
Pendik.
Pendik.
Yeah.
And
Quite serene.
what's that, Dave?
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Is it a bird?
Hello, what's that? It's a bloody airplane. After Istanbul, we headed southeast, exploring a few canyons, doing some great wild camping, and visiting Pamukkale and the old Roman city of Hierapolis. As we were driving down through some small villages in western Turkey, we spotted to the side of the road a strange looking mountain that had caves in it. Thought we'd better go and investigate. So we just spotted this from the road. We didn't know about it, and fortunately found a track that could bring us in. And yeah, look up here. We've got this amazing cave we're going to go and have a look at.
Here we are at a wild camp right near a place that we actually visited earlier today and we loved it so much. We're looking forward to being surrounded by Mother Nature and away from chaos. Bring it on, beer o'clock. Heading south in Turkiye, we arrived at Pamukkale Travertines, a visual and physical feast inviting you to wander barefoot through the thermal pools. Located above Pamukkale is Hierapolis, an ancient Roman Greco city. Some highlights included the Roman Theatre, Temple of Apollo and necropolis.
I think someone would have paid a lot of money for these final resting spaces.
That one in particular is massive.
Shame that their descendants didn't continue to look after them. Look at the rest of them all down the side. It's a massive place. How about this? Oh, there's still somebody in there. Anyone home? Don't look like it. It's empty.
By Googling canyons near me, we found incredible wild camps, stopping at ancient Antioquia before finding a slice of paradise on the Mediterranean opposite Cyprus.
So this is where we got to today. We've just come down a rather bumpy old track for about 10 kilometres. Never knew where it was going to go, but it's got us to this completely deserted spot. There's Wendy down there. That's a little island called Dana Adesi. The other side of that island, about 10 kilometres or so out, I think, is Cyprus. Now we've just parked up here in the trees, and that's our camp for the night. And I'm just making a cup of coffee and a cup of tea. Got the stove on, and yeah. What more could you want? We'll stay here the night. There's no one here because the road was actually blocked off with chains at the other end, and we drove about 20 kilometres around and found a way through a logging track to get in to this spot, which doesn't look like anyone's been here for 20 years. Fairly soon, once we've had a cup of tea, going to head down there where Wendy's just gone, and we'll have a bit of a swim. Looks beautiful, hey? Give us a wave.
We threaded our way to Cappadocia, stopping for a traditional lunch.
So, Wendy, what do you think about this food?
I haven't tried it yet, but it looks absolutely delicious. Before booking into the panoramic view camp, after experiencing a wild party night with throbbing music and a light show, we rose early to see the display of balloons passing by our rooftop tent. In 43-degree heat, we wandered through Love Valley, experiencing the unique rock formations with amazement and
so
awe.
These curious sort of minaret structures, I don't know how they're formed, but we've got up here level with the top layer, and there's a clear difference between the two materials. The bottom layer, you can see here, it comes away so easy. It's just powders. The wind can take that away. Whereas the top layer above here is much more solid. Much more solid, doesn't come away. And there's a boundary layer here where below it there's a bit of a graduation, but once you get that much deeper, this just breaks away simply. Look at that. Look. Whereas up here,
That's falling on me.
nothing. So somehow those top bits have protected the erosion of the lower bits. I don't know. Maybe it gets undercut. You can see there the difference. Maybe it gets undercut and then the top just comes off, I don't know. Interesting that it comes all pointy like that though. After leaving Cappadocia, we drove down towards the Syrian border, across the Euphrates to Halfeti, and then over to visit Gobekli Tepe.
There's more tractors about than normal cars.
Yeah, that's what I'm noticing. There's definitely the
6 o'clock in the evening, 44.5 degrees. On the banks of the Euphrates River. One of the most important rivers of the ancient world, in Turkey at least anyway.
Whilst staying in the Rosa Hotel along the banks of the Euphrates in Halfeti, we took a local boat trip to see the old fortress and sunken village. To our surprise, the driver was only 12 years old. Hey, but no one seemed to care. In the evening, we ate freshly caught fish with other delicious dishes on a floating restaurant.
From Halfeti to Gobekli Tepe, we visited this most significant archaeological site, which has been dated to over 12,000 years old. Although much has already been uncovered, it is expected that more knowledge about the advent of both religion and agriculture may yet be discovered through the remains at this important site.
From Gobekli Tepe, we ventured to Lake Van, Nemrut Crater, into Childa before arriving at the Turk-Gozu Georgian border. So we've just arrived at our campsite for the night. It's called Close to Heaven. It's actually in between two valleys. Spotted that there's a herd of cows with a shepherd in the distance, so they might come past. And it certainly is up in the heavens. There's Dave setting up rooftop tent. So that's a wrap on Turkey, and you'll see us next time when we're in Georgia.